The direction of the Republican Party. Everyone complains about it all the time, right? This sucks, that sucks, this sucks, I don't like this. Okay, who's going to fix it? How are we going to fix it? Believe it or not, who runs the RNC is a very big deal. And so when I find out one of my friends is getting into the race to lead the RNC, actually a few of my friends are, but one of my friends is Harmeet Dhillon, and she has been out there notching wins on her belt for us and has a vision for where she wants the Republican Party to go. So I figured we should ask her about that before we get to Arizona and everything else. Joining me now of the Dhillon Law Firm and Liberty Center, now running to be the big cheese at the RNC, Harmeet Dhillon. Harmeet, what do you want to do with the Republican Party?
Well, the first thing I want to do is win elections, Jesse, and I think that all Republicans feel the same way. That's really the job number one of the RNC. It isn't, sort of minority outreach or what have you. All of that is means to an end to win elections. And what I've seen in the 6 years that I've been a member of the RNC, and frankly, many years before that as a leader in my state party, is that I think the leadership of the party is increasingly out of base of what the evolving base of the party wants. And in turn, that leads to sort of frustration by the base. They think the RNC isn't listening to them. They get turned off. Sometimes they don't vote. They go for, fringe independent candidates or libertarian or what have you. And I'd like to turn that around. I'd like to see all of us rowing in the same direction. And the constituencies are donors, large and small, the party activists, the voters, our candidates. We all need to be in sync. You look across the aisle to the Democrats, they're in sync. They have, these Marxist ideals. Their billionaire donors support the Marxist ideals. Their candidates and the people who win in Congress support those ideals, and their voters apparently are happy with those ideals. But we're all over the place in different directions in the party. I'm not sure I'm the person who can have all the answers, but I do know that I have the energy and the vision to, I think, do a better job. And I think that our party deserves that and it needs it. And I'm also humble enough to know what I don't know. And I'm happy to say that a lot of my good friends and your friends too, Jesse, have offered to step up and help me if I'm able to pull this off. I'd love to get people like Scott Pressler involved in voter registration and even ballot harvesting and early voting where it's legal. I'd love to get better communications, better fundraising, more efficient use of our dollars. And there's a lot of talent in this country. Most of it's outside DC. So I'd love to decentralize the RNC as well and make sure that we go out into America and listen more to what the voters think. So that's kind of the high level picture.
Love that. Love that Scott Pressler stuff. All right, let's talk about something that's not sexy. Kind of makes people turn their nose up. But you mentioned it, and it's true. Our rich people, our billionaires. We have millionaires and billionaires on our side. They are, I certainly don't want to say cheap by any stretch of the imagination, but notoriously difficult to wrangle together and difficult to get them to contribute to causes that aren't sexy. It's not hard to get a right-wing billionaire to write a check to someone running for president. Very difficult to have one write a check for, let's say, a ballot harvesting operation. Democrat billionaires do that all the time. Ours do not. As RNC chair, kind of your job, or at least your job, to kind of help bring them together and butt some heads together and get them done. How do we get them done?
So this is a complex answer to your question. So if you view the whole game as just the RNC, and then you're comparing that to the DNC, that is an incorrect comparison. But really, RNC is all we got going on right now. That needs to change. The DNC is, raises less money than the RNC, but then they're just, one of 50 different outfits that raise money on the left. And on our side, there are a lot of consultants getting rich off what we raise at the RNC. It's a very fat consultant base. A lot of money. People make money in direct mail. So a lot of the money we raise doesn't even go to money that we can spend. What we need to build with the RNC as leadership is outside organizations, nonprofit organizations, PACs, outside C4s and C3s and others that can do some of this work legally and match the Democrats dollar for dollar. I think they're probably 10 to 1 against us the way that they raise their money. You just saw that Katie Hobbs in Arizona, who we're going to talk about, she got like some $23 million cash infusion on her behalf from that corrupt FTX deal. And so I don't want to write off the donors. Some of the donors are turned off by excessive spending and bad choices at the RNC. I feel like a change of face and policy can bring some of them back. I've spoken to some of these donors. Some of them have gone their own way and started some of these outside organizations, which is great. I know some more of them are going to be doing that in the future. We should be talking to the extent that that's legal. We should be dividing up the tasks like the left does. And we should be making sure that we work together as a family to elect our people. Now, you may have differences of opinion about a particular candidate or the other, but once the candidate is selected, we have to be all in for them. That is how the left operates. That's how we have to operate.